no numbers, there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no gameplay. I don't like it.
Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today, Freemers, we are back with another Free Realms video. This time around, we are going to be talking about something that has been on my mind as of late since playing Palia. And, you know, Palia just dropped their Winter Lights event, and this is the time to make this video. If anything, this is when I wanted this to come out. At least, like, you know, at some point this video will drop. But I wanted to talk about how Free Realms did seasons better than Palia currently does. It is wild how time and time again, Palia's only been around for what, 2 years, and Palia still fails to capture like any season that goes on. It is wild. I think credit to them though. Fall they do pretty well on, but still it's not enough. And, you know, Christmas is out, winter's out there, to say the least. But I wanted to talk about this because I feel like a lot of people don't know what Free Realms did in terms of its content and its seasonal activities. And I'm just going to show you, because I think that's easier than just saying, yeah, they did this, yeah, they did that. We're going to get into it. So let's just jump right in. So starting with just the overall vibe of Free Realms. Free Realms, the difference between Free Realms and Palia in terms of locations. See, Palia has Kalima, Bahari Bay, Kalima Village, Bahari Bay, and they have Elderwood, which is newer. Now, the problem with Palia only have 3 locations, and you have to teleport. You have to go through a thing to get there. They're separate locations. It's not one evolving world. It's not one whole world. The problem with Palia is it only has those 3 at the moment. Now with Free Realms, I don't know how Free Realms started out. I don't know if it got all its locations immediately or if it was over time. I have no idea how the game started. I think you'd have to talk to a veteran or a game designer that worked on Free Realms or that played Free Realms and knows the ins and outs of how development started. But Free Realms is one map. It is one location. Now, they did do Sunstone Valley, which was its own other location on the map. You'd teleport to. I think you could walk there, but I don't know how you could walk there. I think it was probably through Briarwood, if I'm guessing. I don't know. But the point being is that Free Realms was one whole world that you could just walk to and fro. It had many different locations. Now, getting into the locations, it had, and the main 4 we're going to be talking about here is, simply put, Snow Hill, Seaside, Maryvale, and Blackspore. Now, these 4 locations are important because, well, they kind of make my point clear here on, you know, why, like, Free Realms was better at doing seasons than Palia currently is. Because, I mean, you could even lump in, like, if you want to say for seasonal stuff, like Wugachug, sure, you could throw that in as, like, being a part of Snow Hill's seasonal Christmas content, winter content, whatever have you. Seaside, I feel like you could throw Sunstone Valley into there for, like, if you wanted a summer vibe. As for Maryvale, I feel like it's the only spring location that you could have. You could throw Sanctuary in there, but at the same time, if you're throwing Blackspore into the whole fall thing, you'd throw Sanctuary in for sure. I would more so throw Maryvale and Lakeshore together if you were doing that, or Lakeshore with Seaside for summer content. And then even like Briarwood, you could throw to Blackspore to be like, oh, fall content, Halloween content, what have you. But these 4 locations that I'm talking about specifically, Snow Hill, Seaside, Maryvale, and Blackspore. These 4 specifically, I mean, Shrouded Glade, I'd say more wintry, maybe fall. I don't know, but anywho, I'm getting ahead of myself. These 4 locations were season specific, which means Free Realms really didn't have to do anything to its content to even make like, you know, people enjoy the game more during the seasonal time. Like, you could just go to Snow Hill on a cold day and you could vibe out, like, literally. But they did do stuff, and I'm going to talk about the stuff they did during that time. I don't have images of that stuff, but I am going to talk about what they did while we go over locations. But starting with Maryvale, which it is Maryvale, it's not Maryvale. Well, you could say Val, but it's Vale. With Maryvale, this location, it's very spring orientated with all the sunflowers all around and the giant rainbow in the center. But like, looking at this, like, there wasn't really springtime events. Like, during spring, I guess the closest they had was Valentine's, which there would be a Valentine's event going on, and that was, I think, as close to a spring event as you could get. But really, this place was just a spring vibe. You could hang out here during the springtime, and that was that. Like, there wasn't too much going on at this place other than it is a whole vibe to be around, and it's just it's sprouting flowers everywhere you go. Now, moving over to Seaside, again, the most that was happening if you wanted to hang out here during the summer was there was always a party going on down at the tennis court or the volleyball net or whatever, and there was always parties going on here. It's the same thing with Briarwood, but still, like, this is where people would hang out during the summertime, and it was so cool. People would RP on top by the Seaside Cafe, which is pretty cool. But yeah, again, not too many events going on here. I do know for a fact that they did sell, like, microtransactions, like actual seasonal content that Palia does. They sold, like, seasonal stuff when it was ongoing, like summer stuff during the summer, spring stuff during spring, that type of deal. But looking at, specifically starting with Black Spore, like, here's the thing, man. Like, the fact that Free Roams has areas themed after a certain time of year is crazy. Like, they don't even need to do anything with Maryvale or Seaside. It's just, it is, like, Free Realms is, like, the perfect, like, open world MMO. Like, it is. It is literally, like, there's a place for everything. There's a thing for everything. This is why people want Free Realms back, is because this world was so good. And I'm not going to play Walking Simulator, obviously, because I want to play the full game. But the fact that, like, you had these areas to go to when it was that time of year and you just wanted to vibe, dude, that was the best. But talking about Black Spore, there actually was a Halloween event that went on. There was two separate ones. There was the actual, like, there was a pumpkin boss you could fight. But more importantly, that wasn't even the main event. The main event during Halloween was there was a faction event that you could do. So I'm pretty sure you'd buy the outfits or you'd get them for coins, either through microtransactions or through in-game currency. But you could buy either werewolf outfits or vampire outfits, and you could pick your sides and teams. And there was an actual event surrounding it near the cemetery, which I thought was really cool. And by the way, Team Werewolf, that was me. Team Werewolf all day, baby. But yeah, it was so wild that, like, the community gathered around this event and this RP, and it was so cool. It was neat, and people would just have parties there. Like, werewolves and vampires would have their sides, and it was a fun time. And this is something Palia just can't do. They can't fathom trying to do an event. It doesn't happen. So it is so interesting to me that that Free Realms is able to pull this off, but Palia can't, because Palia doesn't have the capacity to do that, I don't think. I don't know if they could just use Elderwood as a place for, like, Halloween stuff, or if they could use Bahari Bay for, like, seasonal stuff. But mainly what Palia does, and we'll talk about it, but they use Kalima as the central seasonal hub, which I don't think it should be the case, but, like, it's not a single evolving world, because you have to go through portals to get to different places. So, but talking about Snow Hill, which is, by the way, my favorite location, and Snow Hill is just surrounded by snowy mountains, and, you know, there's some greeneries in there, some browns, but, like, it is mostly snow everywhere, snow on everything. Free Realms just did it right, man. Free Realms did winter right. Because not only does this look like this all the time, but when Christmas rolled around, there was a whole event. Like there were microtransactions with it, but there was a whole event that you could just that you could vibe to. It was a whole vibe. Like you chase down like an abominable like snowman monster, throw snowballs at him to keep him from doing what he's doing, and you shoot at him and try to take him down, stop him from stealing gifts. It was a whole vibe during Christmas for Free Realms, and nothing like it, dude. Nothing like Palia is doing. What Free Realms did back in the day compared to what Palia is doing now is nothing. It's nothing, dude. It's insane what Free Realms was able to pull off way back when. And it's why this game was so good, is because of its seasonal spaces and the fact that they didn't even have to do an event. They just had the areas there. You could just vibe, dude. You could soak in the vibes. It was crazy. But getting into what Palia does, like, dude, it's not even funny. Look at the difference. Look at this. What are we doing? Like, dude. Now, I believe this was like around when Winter Lights first started. This was the bare bones of like the Christmas time. Trees, no snow on them, no snow on the ground. I mean, there was snow on the ground, but it's like spotty. And then the second time around, when they did Winter Lights, was probably the worst. Because Palia, I believe, launched in the fall, and they were able to do Winter Lights back then. But the second time they did Winter Lights was abysmal. Snow was patchy everywhere. Nothing on the trees. It was bizarre. And there was nothing. No snow. It was patchy. There was snow, but it was so patchy, so bad. It was so bad, in fact, that they put a snow-themed like thing you could buy, like a whole house, a whole lot or whatever, plot, what have you, a plot, behind a paywall. So in order to get the full snow experience, you had to pay 25 bones just to get it. I was so mad at Singularity 6 when I saw this. So pissed that I had to make a video on it, and I did. And you know what? They heard me. They listened to that video. I swear to God, man, because like not like a year later, they come out with this. Snow everywhere, except there's no snow on the trees, no snow on the bushes, no snow on the rocks, no aurora lights in the sky. Am I asking for too much? Or am I just being like, hey, it's wintertime, we need to prep for this? Like, I don't know, man. It seems so silly that even Winter Lights now is not to the level that Free Realms had it at. It's insane that, like, I think what Palia needs to do is do what Free Realms did and make an area that surrounds these events. Like, oh, make a snow area for Christmas time, make a Halloween area for fall time or whatever. And, you know, make these separate areas so people can feel like they can vibe in an area. I'm not saying make the game exactly like Free Realms, but like you gotta borrow some traits from that game, considering the company that owns you owns the rights to that game. So at least I think they do, but I don't know. But it is silly that like that Palia cannot meet the level that Free Realms does currently. I mean, they've only been around for like Palia's only been around for 2 years, so like it's fine, but at the same time, just like, come on, what are we doing? You know? And then, like, even looking here, they did put snow on top of the houses, but like, no snow on the greenery. Like, you don't think snow's gonna be on that? Like, and it is snowing, but like, I don't know. There's something missing about the winter vibe that I have to make a video on. Like, hey, Free Realms did it better. Please, like, this is the opportunity for Singularity 6 to grow on their skills. Like, I don't know how small of a team it is, but like, you gotta lock in. You gotta do something about like the actual vibes of the seasons, because clearly you're still missing the mark, even though you improved this year. It's like, you know, you listen to my video. I hope you'll listen to this one. Like, hopefully you see what Free Realms did and you improve upon that foundation there, you know? But even looking at Palia doing Halloween, like, what is this? Like, again, they've improved upon this, but like, it's taken a couple years, but like, oh my god, dude. Like, you go to Blackspore, you have a whole RP it's like, Free Realms did so much better with the seasonal stuff. It's bonkers to me that Singularity 6 struggles on it. But again, they were once an indie company. Now they're owned by another company of a conglomerate. But it's like, dude, come on. We need to lock in. What are we doing? Like, I really wanted to talk about this because, like, genuinely, when I see Palia doing seasonal stuff, I'm like, man, I miss Free Realms and I miss the way they ran things because it was so good. It was so good. But anywho, that is going to be the video for today. But thank you guys for watching, hanging out. I appreciate it a ton. And I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, goodbye.